Well, we're coming to the end or toward the end of reading of the little white book that goes with the deck, the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic. I'm a little rushed today because tonight is the big invocation live Zoom workshop. So thank you everyone for registering for that event. And you should be getting emails with links and things like that today. So we talked about all of the magical properties, the Kabbalistic and the astrological and the angels of the Shemhamferish and the Goetic spirits and the Enochian sub-angles and elemental tablets and things that are all included on the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic. And now we're getting to the little section toward the end. Well, actually, it's toward the middle because the last section is just sort of the standard little white book, divinatory meanings of the cards and things like that. But this is an excellent and probably what a lot of magical people who get the deck really want to find out. Now, how do I apply this? How do I actually use this in a magical way? So, applications. It's easy to see the almost limitless applications of the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic. First and foremost is a simple tarot reading, requiring no application of any ceremonial magic aspects of the cards. Using only the descriptive titles and perhaps a little of the astrological data to determine the significator, the cards are perfect for the beginner and expert alike. If you wish to perform an Enochian or Goetic evocation, a simple spread can tell you which spirit would or might be appropriate to call and what days of the year are sacred to that spirit. Now, if I was writing this today, I probably wouldn't say sacred. I would probably say assigned to that spirit. Sacred sort of implies a moral aspect, which I certainly don't want to intend here. When working Enochian magic, the cards can be used to locate appropriate angels, and the Tattva symbol on the corresponding card can be used to astrally project into that elemental sphere. Now, in Monday Night Magic class, we've used the Tattva symbols as an astral projection tool, a technique to scry into a particular elemental area on the Enochian elemental tablets and things like that. So all that information is sort of like all on one card should you be stuck in a hotel room in a foreign country needing to do magic at the spur of the moment. But anyway, perhaps most importantly, the cards are a powerful learning tool which can enable you to easily learn the intricacies of magic and Kabbalah while just working with the cards. Divination. There are literally thousands of ways to read tarot cards. The spread that we present below, and what I'm going to do, like most little white books do, is just the classic Celtic cross thing, because if you're an expert, you already got your own spread that you're comfortable with, and if you're a beginner, the Celtic cross is a very sound and safe divinatory way to sort of break the hymen of your divinatory magical life, as we say. The spread we present below is among the simplest to master. The important thing to remember is constancy or consistency. I'm married to Constancy. She's out there with a pickaxe trying to work through the hard soil in our new backyard. I don't know if you can see her out there with a pickaxe. Makes me feel like the lazy bum that I am. But that's another story. That's another issue. Okay. The important thing to remember is consistency. Once you find the spread that you're comfortable with, stick to it. The efficacy of your reading will only be diluted if you constantly change spreads. Now, that doesn't mean you got to stay with one forever. But to do a different one every day often is working against yourself. Okay. But I digress. The significator. Before beginning, it's necessary to choose a significator. The significator is usually a card, usually a court card, that's used to represent you or the questioner. In the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, it can be the court card that represents the birthday of your questioner. Now, 12 of the 16 court cards represent 30-degree periods of the zodiac. They go from 20 degrees of one sign to 20 degrees of the next. So there are cards for each of the zodiac signs, but they're only 2/3 of that zodiac sign and 1/3 of the zodiac sign that precedes it. So within those 12 court cards, the knights, queens, and princes live in groups of three small cards. We learned that just a few days ago. Now, those three small cards represent 10-degree periods, so you've also got another birthday card, which is the small card of the tarot that represents the 10-day period or 10-degree period that you were born in. So my birthday is July 11th. Please write that down. My birthday is July 11th. So I'm a Queen of Cups, and I'm also a Three of Cups. But I use the court card as a significator most often because court cards represent that unique blend of elements that most clearly define the admixture of personality traits within individuals. So, but I always like to know what the questioner, what their small card is too. In case their small card comes up in a reading, it may have meaning relating to them personally that maybe even overrules its general divinatory meaning. So if a Three of Cups comes up in a tarot reading that I'm doing for myself, I first think, okay, is this card making a very specific reference to something with me personally over and above its divinatory meaning as abundance? Say that's the Three of Cups. So, okay. The next little section says the invocation. And this is where we'll leave it today, which is very appropriate because in preparing for tonight's Zoom thing, my life has been dominated by this subject for the last couple months. The invocation. When you go to let's say you go to a professional tarot reader, they got their sign out front. They look like a gypsy fortune teller. You walk through the door and there might be beaded there might be beads that separate the rooms, and there's incense burning, and it looks spooky. Candles are lit and things. It's fun. Okay, it's fun. But if you've ever gone just like off the street to a psychic tarot reader, very often you'll see holy pictures up of Jesus or Mary and Joseph and or other saints and things like that. Now, I know if you're not of that particular religious persuasion, don't immediately let that turn you off, okay? Because as we will learn, especially in tonight's workshop, it's essential that the person doing the divination or doing a magical operation of any kind feels a direct connection with the source of all intelligence. Okay? And that source is bigger than any small doctrinal or dogmatic or religious vessel you could pour it into. But in order to connect with that most abstract of abstract sources of all intelligence, we almost have to trick ourselves into thinking it's poured into one specific vessel. So even though you might not be a Christian in your own religious leanings, and you go to a tarot reader that makes a prayer to Jesus or makes a prayer to Mary or something, thank them. That's good. That's a good thing they're doing that. Even in the Freemasons, we don't blow our nose without first invoking the presence of deity. It's just the wise thing to do. It's just the essential attunement that's necessary for you even to begin to think that you're drawing in infinite wisdom. So, invocation is important. Prior to any divinatory operation, it's important to take a moment to attune yourself and the questioner to the great intelligences with whom you wish to communicate. The adepts of the Golden Dawn created a brief yet effective invocation of those universal agencies, which we quote below. Take the cards in your left hand, okay, and with the right hand, hold the wand over them. Okay, here's my wand. And I tell you, for me, the pen is a wand. And hold the wand over them with your right hand and say, you also draw a little sigil of some kind. I invoke thee, Iao, that thou wilt send Hru, the great angel that is set over operations of this secret wisdom, to lay his hand invisibly upon this consecrated cards of art, that we may obtain true knowledge of hidden things to the glory of thine ineffable name. Amen. Shuffle and cut. Shuffle the cards thoroughly for about 2 minutes while calmly concentrating on the question. Don't try to clear your mind. You can't freaking clear your mind. If you could clear your mind, you'd be Buddha. Think about the question. Wallow in the question. Tell your client to wallow in the question. Then set the deck face down upon the table and cut it into 2 piles, or have the questioner cut it. Place the bottom pile on top. Turn the entire deck face up on the table, and I put it on the left side of the table, face up. Then carefully fan the cards out from left to right in a large horseshoe. Without disturbing the order of the cards, starting for the right, tiptoe through them, locate the significator. Being careful to keep the cards in order, take the significator and all the cards to its right to form a stack. While the stack is still face up, the significator should be that bottom card. Now again, being careful to keep the cards in order, restack the left portion of the horseshoe and place it face up upon the right stack. So in other words, you're putting the deck back together, but the cards are still relatively sequenced exactly the way they were when you stopped shuffling and cut. Now turn the whole deck face down, and the significator now should be the first card you turn over in the reading. Okay. Then I give instructions on the Celtic cross spread, and after that I give the general divinatory meanings of the cards that Constance and I threw together as sort of a digest of the divinatory meanings of each card. That we may take up tomorrow. But right now, I've got to polish up my presentation for tonight's workshop on the magical importance of invocation. So until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.